Alright, hey baby. I was just making you a video. Just because at church today they just had this really cool message that I just thought was really awesome, and like when Pastor Rick was going through it, like I feel like God was really putting it on my heart to tell you about it. So I just thought I would read it to you and like tell you about it instead of just texting it to you. Um, and so it's out of 1 Kings 17, and then I'm just gonna read verse 2 through 7. Um, Then the word of the Lord came to Elijah: "Leave here, turn eastward, and hide in the Kerith ravine, east of the Jordan. You'll drink from the brook, and I have ordered the ravens to feed you there." So he did what the Lord had told him. He went to the Kerith ravine, east of the Jordan, and stayed there. The ravens brought him bread and meat in the morning, and bread and meat in the evening, and he drank from the brook. And so when he first said this, and I was sitting there, I was like, okay, so what's like the significance of this? Like, I don't really know what the big deal is. And so I don't know why the video's being like that. One second here. Alright, there we go. And so, I was like, what's the big deal? Like, that doesn't seem like that bad of a thing. But if you think about it, um, like what brooks are and what like a ravine is it's kind of like a rut. It's not like an actual river or anything like that, like a normal body of water, but it's kind of like a rut, and it's like not the best kind of water. And like with ravens, like they eat roadkill and like things like that, so it's not even the best meat. And so that's what was being brought to Elijah. And so as you read further, like it talks about how he doesn't necessarily want to leave. He gets kind of comfortable with it, and um, Pastor Rick was kind of saying like that can be applied to our lives, and like how we get really comfortable with how things are, and we don't necessarily want things to change. And it kind of made me think about how you're talking about like last night, how things aren't like last spring, and like last spring was really good, and which is awesome. I'm so glad it was. But one of the first points, like he said, was the brook dries to keep me from depending on the brook. And what that can mean to you or me is, if we start depending on the brook or something, we become too comfortable with it. And the brook could be friendships, it could be relationships, it can be anything really, um, and it can be hard for us to want to change it. Um, but it says brooks dry up to remove me or to move me to a better place. And like I was thinking for you, like you could think of it where even though like things may not be working out with your roommates or with Anna and Lydia, maybe instead of wondering why that's happening, like maybe you can ask like, what is God trying to do instead? Like maybe He's trying to have you work on friendships like with this girl Nikki that you told me about, where it sounds like she could really use a good Christian friend, or other friends like that. Um, sometimes when these bad things happen, like we think um, that God's forgotten about us, and like you're saying how you don't feel God anymore, but maybe it says like the brook's dry up to prove that God has not forgotten about me. And so if anything, maybe it's not that you're not feeling God, but He's maybe just trying to show you something new, and maybe you just need to ask what that might be, and He'll show that to you, because obviously He wants to change something. Like I think it's obvious that He wants to do that just with how things are going right now. And then it talks about the journey, and um, you know the path is, it's through uncomfortable territory. It's not what we're used to, um, and the source is usually unexpected. And the pattern is really believing the promise that God gives us and taking a risk. And it's really about asking, are you going to trust me through this transition and this change? Like, are we going to do that? And so I think, that maybe I hope this can help you, and maybe God can show you, but I just challenge you really like to think about it and ask God what He's trying to show you, and see what He's trying to change. And if you notice something like maybe you should further a friendship with Nikki, like take advantage of that and like hang out with her and stuff. So that's just kind of on my heart. So I hope that helps. All right, bye, baby.